Oh my god. Yes, I think we got sound now. We're back in business. Okay, I think we're back in business. Let me
I'm like
open this
Merlin.
up. Yeah, we're back in business. Hold on one second. We are back in business. Oh my God. Facebook, Instagram. I'm blaming it on Facebook. Facebook ain't nothing to do with this. Instagram, y'all playing with my emotions. What is this? YouTube? Platforms, even though. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the link again so people can join on the live discussion. Hold on one second.
Oh, Lord, don't start all that.
Oh my God. That was so scary. Everybody said, I cannot hear you. That's so sad. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let me jump on here. Sorry. Everyone.
Make sure I'm not done.
Off, apparently. All right. All right, cool. All righty, you guys. We are back. We are back. We are back. So apparently the video that I did, our live stream that I did like at 7 o'clock, for some reason it was not working or you could not hear my sound. So I had to stop it and I had to restart all over. So I do apologize if you were on that old one and got cut off. You are more than welcome to join us. And also, you can join us on the Zoom. So I'm going to have the Zoom available for you guys to join us. That way you can see all the people that will be talking tonight, and then you can hear as well. But this will be recorded live. So if you have questions, you can drop your questions, your comments and concerns. We are talking about tonight, how do you know when she's the one? How do you know when she's the one? And then we will be talking about the flip side of that. Like, how do women know when he's the one? Because sometimes these guys be acting like they're the one and they're not even the one. So, or they pretend to be the one to get you, and then they out of look. Alrighty, so let's see what's going on. All right, sorry, people were sending messages. Okay, so let's see what's going on with my live. It looks like everything is lagging on tonight. I don't even know what's going on, but we're gonna jump in. I'm our first guest on tonight. Those of you who do not know, Queen Esther Blake is an actress slash supermodel slash mom slash what else we got? What else we got?
Slash your sister.
Slash my sister. Yes, that's that too. Yeah, so basically, men are always saying like, "Hey, I know when she's the one." Queen, please do tell us, do share with us. How do you know or don't know when a guy is the one for you?
I would start by saying if he don't have a relationship with his mom, he's not the one for nobody.
Okay, all right. Let me take
if a man don't love their mom, they will not love you.
Right.
I do not care. Like I used to deal with guys that love their mom, but whatever kind of relationship they have with their mom, they would have that same relationship with me. So some would be sneaky. They wouldn't tell their mom all their business, be all their business.
Right.
The ones would cut their mom, cuss me out.
Right.
So it would start with their mom, because a lot of guys are like raised by their mothers. Uh-huh. Two, I wouldn't want a man that didn't have no type of father figure in his life.
Right.
Without a father figure, it's hard to date men. They don't have no. It's like missing something.
Right. Exactly.
And then third, first should have been God. You don't have.
Right. So we said mother, God, and what was the other one?
A relationship with like a father figure.
Okay. Father figure. Okay. Hopefully this is not the day. I don't know why Facebook went act. What is this? YouTube? YouTube do not want to act right today. All right. So, why do you think it's so important for guys to have a relationship with their mom?
Because that's like the first person voice they hear.
Right.
And that's like the person that molded them to be who they are.
Right. Right.
And a lot of guys that listen to, they love their mom, they love their wives.
Right.
And they know how to have a balance between their mom and their wife. It's not like I'm choosing you over my wife.
Right.
It's don't even it don't matter. They love their mom and they love you. Whoever love their mom will love you.
Right. And I think sometimes with them having a relationship with their mom or just a respect for moms or grandmas in general will allow them to have a respect for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes guys, they abuse women a lot and they just use them for whatever they want. But you wouldn't want nobody doing that to, you know what I'm saying, the women in your life. So your mom, your sister, your grandma, your auntie, all this stuff. So it's like you have a relationship with that woman in your life. It's gonna somehow mold you, like you said, into having a better relationship with other women. So I feel that is like so accurate. Let me see if anybody's in the chat. Nobody's waiting. Okay. And then you're talking about God. Okay, why they gotta have a relationship with God?
You don't know God, then you shouldn't be waiting for me. Remember that they girls used to be like, find God, find yourself, and find me.
Right.
If you don't find God, then how are you even in a relationship with anybody?
Right. I hear you.
Like God should be the head of your life. God will even lead you to the right person for you.
He will. Right. So, but what about some people that don't believe in God? Some people just flat out, just straight up don't believe in God. Time out. I don't believe in God. What do you do with that type of person? So you say that you see a man, right? He's fine, head to toe, bomb, right? He got all the qualities. He has money. He has, he has his own place, whatever it is you're looking for, right? But he just don't have that peace.
Then I will be unequally yoked.
Unequally yoked? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think I would still try to date him.
You don't think so? Yeah, because I don't know. To me, I feel like having a relationship with God is very important, but sometimes we got to make sure that like we're meeting people where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like you may have a deeper relationship with God than someone else. So like even if he has some type of spirituality, like at least you guys can meet there and meet in the middle, and then you can eventually like show him like, okay, well, this is what I do. This is how I stay spiritual. I believe in God, the creator, capital G-O-D, and then just kind of introduce them into your world. I think sometimes push that off on people where they have to have a relationship with God or it's like nothing, all or nothing. And I think for me, I was a spiritual person, but I wasn't really like entrenched with God. When I met my husband, it was like he brought me over. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we gotta allow that to develop. That relationship, the peace with God. And then you said a father. Why is it so important to have a relationship with your daddy?
Figure.
Oh, father figure.
Father figure. Okay. Father figure or father. And some men don't have fathers.
Right.
I feel like you need to fear somebody.
Right.
Men that fear people like they fear their uncle or like their dad or they big cousin or somebody.
Right.
They like seem to be like more of a like protector and leader in their households. They're like, Dad, I want my dad come over here regulate me, so let me regulate.
Right.
And they just do better. So I just always wanted to figure like find a man that has like a father figure in their life.
Right.
Somebody that they respect.
Right. Somebody that can hold them accountable, right? Like,
right, yeah.
I think sometimes a lot of men are just like rogue. Like they just feel like they can just do whatever, say whatever, feel whatever. But it's like sometimes you need a male figure in your life to like balance out like your ideas and your mindset with another man. You know what I'm saying? Not just a woman. Like it's so many women out here that's like trying to tell men what to do and how to think and all that stuff. It's like, but you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? Like so a man has to actually have somebody in their life to kind of balance that out and say, you know what, hey, like this is how I feel, is this am I being rational? Am I being logical? Am I being reasonable?
Right.
Like, am I moving too fast, too slow? Like how to actually navigate through life and be a man. So I do feel like that's like really important. And then what else is you think is what are you looking for? Okay, it's Valentine's Day coming up, right? Valentine's Day, February 14th, Love Day for all people all over the world. What are you as a woman today in today's time, knowing like what you know and your experience, dating, being married, things like that. What are you looking for in a man?
I'm looking for stability.
Stability. Okay.
Stability. So a man has to have his own stuff. You don't have to own a house, but you at least be in an apartment and be in there for at least 4 or 5 years. So stability. You have a job or working towards a career, not just working at McDonald's somewhere.
Right.
and you unhappy.
Right.
I don't want that.
Right.
I'm looking for someone who wouldn't mind having a family. I have 3 kids, so I gotta look for somebody who wants a family. I'm not gonna just, kick my kids about the house.
Right. Would you be willing to date a guy with kids?
Not really. Not really.
How dare you? Shame on you. How you gonna have kids if he can't have kids?
Because it's like this. That's why I was telling somebody. It's a lot of baby mamas out in the world, but it's not a lot of baby daddies.
Right. So true.
It's easy to find a man with no kids, and it's easy to find a woman. So
right.
I don't know. I just feel like I would have to deal with several women, baby mamas. And I always tell people I'm not that secure in myself dealing with these women like that.
Mm-hmm. So if he potentially had, I say men who have kids under the age of 5, they still messing with it. They probably still like dibbling dabbling with it. They can say that they not, but they are. But say for instance, he had kids that were like teenagers, things like that. Like he moved on with his relationships. Like, would you consider that?
Yeah, but it depends on the kids too, though. They got to be good kids. They don't just be no disrespectful kids.
Right. Okay, so then I'm pretty sure there's guys probably thinking the same thing. Like, you got 3 kids. Like, I'm not having it.
Right.
So how do you convince like somebody? And I'm like, convince is such a strong word, but how do you kind of convince somebody that it's worth the risk? You know what I'm saying? Like being with someone who has kids, or being with a woman who has kids.
Well, I would convince somebody to be with me because I have kids, because I feel like I'm a great mom.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good kids. Mm-hmm. You know, they're well-mannered kids. They are almost done with high school.
Right.
The older 2. Mm-hmm. And then the little baby doesn't really have a father figure, so he will respect anybody that comes along and love on his mother. So
right.
I don't know.
Right. I hear you. I feel you. Let me see if we can bring a couple of other people on the call. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let's see who we got in the comments. What y'all talking about? Y'all see me? Y'all hear me? I'll drop the link, you guys, so you guys can jump on Renelle. You can jump on China. You can jump on. Use the link. The IG link. I keep saying IG. I'm tripping. Use the Zoom link, you guys, so you guys can jump on and we can continue this discussion, because I want to have more people on here. And then I'm going to bring on a special guest. So you be ready for my special guest, okay? I have somebody that'll be jumping on. But let me see. I'm just letting you guys know y'all can join the Zoom. Somebody said they will love a man who is healed and happy. Somebody else said that, let's see. He has to be if going to church, but definitely in a relationship. Yes, I do agree with you on that one, sis. Gotta have some type of belief system, because right now, if you're not believing in God, like what are you believing in and what are you doing? So let's see what's going on now. So yes. So I'm gonna read a couple of comments that I have picked up from a lot of the different guys were saying like this is what they feel about women and how they feel like that woman was the one for them. So I'm gonna read a couple for you guys, and then I'm gonna bring on some more people. So Joshua, age 40, married for 11 years, said, I like this question because I haven't thought about rock. I don't mean that to be cliches, but no one has ever held me down like she does. In the past, we were a lot of beautiful and smart women that I dated, but a lot of ladies don't understand what it means to be a real man. Even before we got married, it made me feel like the sky was the limit when it came to my dreams and desires. She wasn't critical. Listen to that, ladies. She was not critical. She wasn't negative. She still isn't to this day. I knew she was the one for me because she made me see myself in ways that no one else had. She still does. Another guy, he's age 30. He's married for 3 years. He said, right out to me about her, and she really listened. She became a source of peace for me. That's a big thing. Oh my God, it's such a big thing, especially in multicultural and just like communities, all communities, you know what I'm saying? Like men feel like they're not listened to and they're not respected. And sometimes it can even come from your mom and your sisters. And it's like, and you expect this man to go out now and how ready for a relationship or ready for the world. How can that even be possible if they never truly felt love or respect? Quinn, what do you feel about that? Like a lot of guys in the world don't feel respected by women. I mean, even in homes. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 sons. I'm saying I even have to give my boys respect and in privacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we as mothers raise men to be able to kind of listen to women and respect them?
I had a guy just tell me recently, you don't listen. Me something that I not listened. I thought I heard him, but
right.
I like to listen to myself talk too sometimes. So my thing is, we really just gotta listen and dissect what these men are really feeling, how they feel it. Men have emotions.
Right.
Emotions.
Right.
We act like women just are emotions and we cry. This, but I didn't learn emotional cry.
Right.
Right. Stuff like that. So we just gotta hear what they're saying.
Right. I hear you. You was going in and out. But I hear what you're saying. You were saying like men get emotional too. I think sometimes we feel like men are supposed to be strong like all the time. Like, but men are humans too. Like they have emotions, they have weaknesses, they have struggles, they have all of this stuff. So it's like, how do you prepare your sons? Like your sons are beautiful. So because I'm saying that women are going to look at them and be attracted to them just purely physical, right? But how do you prepare them to be ready for a relationship when it's time to communicate and when it's time to lead, you know, the house or lead a woman? Like how are you going to be able to prepare them for that?
I just tell them to treat the women like they would want me to be treated.
Right.
You need to court them. You need to show them respect. You need to love them. But before you love anybody, I always tell my son, King, you need to love yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Where you start dating, get to know who you are. Love who you be who you are.
Right.
And then the girl who loves, you know, who sees that will come along.
I love it.
You attract that girl.
Yeah, I love that. That's so important. I had saw a quote that said the best thing a man can do is invest in a woman. I said, no, the best thing a man can do is invest in himself first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Once you invest in yourself first, like there was a guy who said that he literally used to date all the wrong women until he finally decided that I'm gonna just focus on me, getting myself together better myself. And when I did that, I started to look at women differently and I started to attract a different type of woman. And it's like you have to do the internal work first before you can do any external stuff. Like you have to really focus on how to be a better person, be a better man, before you can be thinking about being a better dad or thinking about being a better husband or think about being a better, you know, provider or anything like that. Think about how can I become a better man for myself first before I can lead any one person. So I think that's awesome. I'm gonna go to another comment. This man says he's 42. He's been married for 15 years. He said, what's interesting is this. I believe she's more than the one. Now some more than I did when we first got married. You got to be married a while before you realize, even as a man, that a lot of that movie BS is just that BS. You can be attracted to a lot of people. You can have great sex with a ton of them. I married my wife because I trusted her. Over time, she's become my best friend. I can't think of anyone closer to me or who knows more about me. Single ladies, that's rare. When a man sees you as his closest friend, that's when you know you've got him. And I think that is so true. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring on my friend, my bestest friend. My bestest friend. You want to join me on the just scooting in with the chair, or you want to join on your own? Here's a chair. Grab a chair. Let's see.
Scoot on over.
Scoot on over. Okay. All right. So hi. So our topic today, for all the
is a special guest.
This is my special guest. This is my husband, Dwight. The man I married when I was 18 years old. we are talking about how do you know she's the one? And I understand like men say a lot of stuff and they play around with a lot of things. So we just trying to figure out how do you know that a woman is the one for you? And I'm pretty sure you have your story. So I'm gonna zoom in.
I think you have to, for every man is different. For me, I think you have to know who you are and who matches those characteristics.
Right.
And I think that as men, a lot of times people like go solely on looks, and looks are spectacular. Don't get me wrong. I think my wife is beautiful, sexy, all of that. But I think that a lot of dudes specifically rather just go for looks and like titties and butt and all that stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, like those things are good to have. Don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be the sole reason why you choose a wife.
Right.
Because eventually when she's 55, 60 years old, like, you know what I mean? Like things are going to change and you have to love that person for who they are and what they bring to your life.
Right.
So to me, character is the number one thing you look for. I'll hear a lot of niggas saying stuff like, oh, well, you know, like I want a wife that's loyal to me, but, you know, I do me, but she's loyal to me. And if she cheats, she'll a hoe, all that type of stuff. Well, to me, like ladies, the same thing. I think you have to pick based on character. You know what I mean? I think that, yeah, you want to be attracted to him. Yes, you want him to be handsome, all of those things. But more importantly, you want character, because at the end of the day, what good is it, you know what I'm saying, to have a fine ass woman, but she's not loyal to you, or a fine ass man, he's not loyal to you. Like, what's the point?
Right.
You know what I mean? If everybody can kind of get it, it defeats the point. So I think you go for character first, and then, you know, the looks is there. Don't get me wrong, looks help.
Right.
Because you want to definitely be attracted to that person. However, I think character, and so for me specifically, I was looking for a certain woman from a character perspective, and Victoria embodied all of those characteristics. And then, of course, to me, obviously, I think that she's very beautiful and sexy and attractive and all of those things. So it just further enhanced the character that was there for me. You might have different guys on this platform or different guys in whatever medium or platform give you a different thing. But for me, it was more character, and it was and then the looks kind of like followed and just helped it. But
a lot of guys pick the wrong women. Like I know a lot of say like saying like she wasn't the one, like I messed up, you know what I'm saying? Like I end up getting her pregnant. I don't want to be with her. Like, why do you think that they continue to pick the wrong type of women?
I think they go for looks. I think people have a certain type. So like you have women, and it's nothing wrong with the woman. Like she could be an attractive woman, have things going for herself, and she'll be like, "Oh, what's wrong with me?" It's like you just picking the wrong type of guy.
Right.
The guys sometimes that you might be attracted to are the guys that are not to settle down. I want to be married, handle responsibility type of guys. Like, and if you mess with F boys and F girls, those type of people are not to settle down. Right. Let's have a family and let's be stable type people. Those are people who want to like literally just hang out, party, and get as much sex as they can. You know what I mean? So I think that depends. I think that you have to you end up with the wrong girl because you're looking for the wrong thing. So like, and dudes pick women for different reasons because there are ugly females out there, or I say ugly females. I mean like that a person might not find attractive, but they'll mess with them and sleep with them or whatever because it's just there and it's available. So I think that's one of the things. And I think so if you go for sex, if you go for looks, as opposed to what you're really looking for with a woman, that might make you end up with the wrong woman.
Right. I hear you. I was going to bring on another caller. She's going to join us. China, let me see if you can get the link. Let me see. Hold on one second.
That's my phone.
Hold on a second. Let me copy.
I don't like the friendship thing though. When guys say you my best friend, that ain't gonna work.
You don't think so? You don't think being somebody's friend will work?
No.
Why not?
Because friendships a lot of times don't have romance.
It depends. I tend to agree, but I think now though, I think that you can have a friendship that turns romantic. It depends. It really depends. I think if you are a person and you establish a friendship early on and like you never make it known, like, hey, I'm attracted to you, and if things were different and maybe we wasn't friends, like you could get it type situation, then maybe that has the potential to blossom into something romantic.
Right. I think
dudes typically, if a female's attractive and a dude is her friend, is usually because the female has friends on him.
Yes.
It's not.
Let me tell you. Hold on a second. Let me tell you about our friendship. Like when we first met, literally, like our friend zoned this guy. I would literally go on my day, and I would have dudes like hit on me like when I was back in the day when I was catching the bus, right? And I would literally come home and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Hey, this dude tried to hit on me. Do you want to hear this conversation?" And he would literally be on three-way with me, right? Mm-hmm. And he would literally hear dudes talking my skirt about what they wanted to do, right? And he would just be. And I think to me, those are kind of like the best friendships that you can constantly have that can blossom into a relationship, because like they know everything about you. Like they know everything. It's like you can just be free and open to talk. And then when he finally came out and say, "Hey, I really like you. I really want to date you." I'm like, "What? Why?" You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I didn't understand like how deep it was for him. I just was like, dang, like he's a really good friend. Like he listens to everything that I say, you know. And I think sometimes those become the best like relationships when you literally just be yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not feel like you gotta have up this like barrier or this like this wall up, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, a lot of women, they have this wall up. I literally would eat grub like right in front of him, do all this stuff, and he'd be like, I just think it was like the greatest thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that was just how we came to be, you know, this married couple from starting out with a friendship, you know. So that's that. So you don't think the friendship thing will work?
I got friends on. I was like,
You got friends on before? You got friends on before?
They friends on.
Dang.
How'd you say?
You say you got friends on before? Yeah.
Friends on and say he was my true friend. I said, I want to be your true friend.
Oh Lord. Hold on one second. They're trying to kick me off this Zoom. I don't want to get kicked off this Zoom. Let me see if we have any questions in the comments. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna end Zoom, Queen, and then I'm gonna bring it back on. Okay. Okay, cool. Because right now I think they're trying to kick me off. But yeah, so we are definitely here still. You guys, if you guys have any comments or questions, we are still in the building. We are still in the building, as if I'm going anywhere. Earlier today, we had, for some reason, I had got kicked out. And so I had to start the live all over again. So I do apologize for that. But those of you who would like to join the discussion, let me send you out the link. Copy link. Let me see. I think China, if you're still there, you can join us, sweetie, because I'm definitely going to be sending this to you right now. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. That's the live link, you guys. You guys like to be on camera. You don't have to be. Your camera does not have to be on. I'm not going to force you to put your camera on. So if you guys want to join us, you definitely can join us on there. Let's see what's going on. But yeah, my guest, my boo thing. What's going on with you, sir?
No, setting up this phone.
Yeah, so we another thing that we were talking about is that is it important for men to have a good relationship with like their father or their mother, is what Queen was saying, but you have a different, you know, upbringing. So what if guys don't have father figures or mothers in their life? Like, how is that literally like something that you can deal with and get through?
It's critical in my opinion. I think that I definitely think that you need to have a positive male figure in your life. It does make a difference. Right. My dad was killed when I was really young. My dad was murdered, so I didn't really have a great relationship with my father. I mean, I had a great relationship with my father, but I didn't have a long time with my dad before he was killed. But thank God I had men in the church, pastors and coaches who took me under their wing and were positive role models to me and taught me how to really be a man and do man things. Right. So, you know, it helped me it helped give me an example of the type of man I wanted to be. Right. Until I grew into who I wanted to be as a man. So I think that it's critically important to have a positive male role model.
Right.
I really truly do.
Right. So true. And then what about a mother figure?
For young ladies or young
men? Just
I think it's critical that there be a motherly figure.
Right.
I think men provide a certain things, or they should provide security and take care of their women, and they should provide. And if your lady chooses to work, great. If she chooses not to work, great. But as a man, you're going to do what you have to do to provide for your family. Right. I think you need that from a male perspective, and to teach them to teach young men how to do man things.
Right.
But I also think men need their moms, because you need that nurturer. You need that that person that comes in and that gives you that softness. Because men, we tend to be a little harder.
Right.
So I think that you need both. It sets you up for success,
right?
As opposed to if you are just going with just your dad or just your mom or.
We have a guest. We have someone by the name of China. I'm gonna bring you on the screen. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to use your camera or nothing like that. I just want to make sure everybody can hear you. Let's see what's going on. Let's do this like that. Hello, China. How are you? You gotta unmute yourself. Oh, unmute. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Now I can hear you.
What up, girl?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hello, Queen. Hello, Mr. Taylor.
What's up, sis? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Long time no see her. Long time.
Yes.
So tell us, China, what are you looking for in a man? How do you know he's the one?
You know what's interesting? I hear a lot of people say when you meet a great guy, you'll know he's the one right off the bat. So sometimes I wonder, well, maybe he hasn't come yet, because I'm like, how do you just know he's the one? You know, I understand there are ups and downs in relationships, things happen, but it's getting a little rough out here. So the one thing I can say is Mr. Taylor gave me some very good advice years ago, and he told me no matter what, when I meet a man, just make sure he's following God first.
Right.
And then everything else will take its course. So I've always kept that in mind, and I've always said, okay, I understood the difference of, you know, men who were stable, men who were healed, men who were happy with themselves, and they were able to, you know, be healthy enough to date and be in a relationship, versus men who were not happy, not following God, and had a lot going on in their lives.
That piece right there, you said not healed. What do you think about that, Dwight? Do you think that like it's so important that a lot of times we mask our depression, anxiety, whatever we're going through? But isn't it important for a man to make sure like he's healed before he gets into like a relationship with someone?
Absolutely. I think that if you jump into a relationship with somebody too quickly and you're not healed, I think you are setting that person up to deal with your baggage from your past hurts. And I think it's unproductive and it's unhealthy. And I think that if I've been with somebody for, say, 5 years and we've broken up, there's no way you can be over that in a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm out with my homeboys and I'm going to try to get at whatever female. That's not going to work, bro. You have to heal and process and deal with whatever feelings or emotions that you're having from that previous relationship. Get past that and be ready to fully give yourself to someone else. And for every person, that might be different. You might be good in a week or 2 weeks if you've done the work and you've processed and you're like, hey, I'm good. I know where I stand, what I'm about, and what I'm looking for. Then great. But for some people, it takes longer. But I think you definitely need to heal from whatever past hurts before you move on to the next. And because our culture is too rapid.
Right. Even childhood traumas. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think a lot women talk about traumas a lot, but I don't think men really talk about like childhood traumas that they need to truly heal from, you know. And I think Queen was talking about earlier how men need to have a good relationship with like their mom. And it's like I know a lot of guys out here who do not have a relationship with their mom or don't even care, you know, to respect her, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's that healing piece is so important. And then how long do you think someone should wait before they jump into another relationship?
This is just. Oh,
go ahead, China.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, you know, to be honest, it's interesting because they always say women, they always say us women, we leave mentally before we leave physically. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that you can have a breakup and a woman mentally left her relationship maybe 3 months prior, mm-hmm. A month prior. I can't really say how long you should wait, but definitely make sure you're also healed from that last relationship and you're ready to move on. I think one thing we're having an issue with nowadays with men and women mm-hmm. is you're running into so many men and you're running into so many women who are still not over their ex. Right, you're like, wait, you told me you was over this person. How is it that 30 days later they still have access to you? You can still talk to them. You left your shoes over there. Right. You didn't go pack up all your things. Like, why are they dropping off socks? You know what?
Man, I just saw a post. I saw a post like that today. It's like, I'll drop off these socks, I'll be done. It's like, what?
Yes. And they hold on to them socks. And you're just like, wait, so I definitely enjoy meeting people who mean what they say and say what they mean. So when they're done with that relationship, you will notice that they will cut everything off. And that's it. You know, there's no going back. Unless you want to entertain that person, there's no reason for you to keep communication with them.
Right. I love it. What were you going to say about?
No, I was just going to say the very same thing. I was going to say the timeline is different for every person.
Right.
If you ask my personal opinion, just from experience and talking to different people and your own, relationships or whatever, mm-hmm. I say at least 6 months, but it depends on the person.
Right.
Some people heal quicker and like I said, when they're done, their yes is their yes, their no is their no. When they say I'm done, they're literally done. Mm-hmm. Then there's people who say I'm done, but that's just their first I'm done out of 75 I'm done before they're really done.
Right.
So, you have to know kind of who you are and where you stand. So I'm a type of person when I be like I'm done, I'm legitimately done.
Right.
But it takes me a long time to get to.
Why do you think people still hold on though? It's like, what are you holding on to? If it did not work,
they're scared
if they are your ex, right? And it didn't work the first go round, what makes you think it's gonna work the second and third and fourth?
I think fear. I think familiarity.
Yeah.
I think people get comfortable with certain people if they know them.
Right.
I mean, we can be candid. We're all adults.
Right.
They like the sex. They like a particular thing.
Right.
And so they focus all the energy on that, and they say, well, if everything was just like this, then everything else would line up.
Right.
Everything will now, and it becomes just about that. So we have to. I think, but the major thing I think is fear. Right. I think that holds a lot of people up.
I think that's what you were gonna say, China. Fear.
Yeah, I've noticed that you meet people and you ask them, okay, so that's my first thing. What happened with your ex? How long have you been single?
Right.
Is that done? Or are you still, in some emotions? Some people, I think biggest and being comfortable.
Right.
Some people don't want to start over. Let's just be honest. Some people don't want to start over with anybody new. They don't want to take that opportunity. And the sad part about it is some people are just getting used to settling.
Yeah.
They'll just settle and won't even care.
Right. And then I think a lot of times they don't even care how toxic it is. They would rather be with that person, like you said, out of being just familiar with them, than to try to venture off into doing something new. Like nowadays, back in the day, like when we dated and stuff, it was so easy for you to just communicate and connect. Nowadays, you have to go through like so many layers because people are just not who they say they are. So I think a lot of times people don't want to go through all the whole process of learning someone new and getting to know someone. So they say, well, I'll just settle. I'll go back to my, this dude or my baby daddy or somebody like that. And it's like, it's so many people out here for you to meet and potentially be there, that potential person for you, but you will never get there. You'll never understand or truly experience that relationship or love because you're so busy trying to hold on to your past, and I just think that that's unfortunate, but here we are. This is life,
Right. I mean, it's so many distractions too.
Yeah. Go ahead. What are you saying?
Oh, I agree because I want to say for men and women, especially the men, I don't think they want to have to deal with women who are still dealing with their exes. You know, you want to be able to say, I met a great woman. She's awesome. She's wonderful. And, you know, she's healed, she's healthy, and she's ready to move forward. You don't want to have to, you know, get to know her, everything's going well, just to find out, oh wow, her ex is still calling, or she's still entertaining that situation. You know, I don't think a lot of men want to deal with that. They're ready to move forward, you know, and see what's going on. But like you said, it's definitely fear. And I also agree with you with the childhood trauma. You have to be careful with that. That's a big thing. That's something that a lot of people are not healed from, and it shows in their relationships. It shows when they're not having good relationships with their mothers. It shows when a father is not around. That's not for every man and woman, but most of them, it's the same outcome. If there was not a male figure in his life to show him how to treat a woman, he does not know necessarily what he's doing in all aspects. If the relationship with the mother is not well, if you find yourself, you know, having to correct that man on how he talks to his mother and he treats her, that's not well either.
No, that's not.
You hit a key point though. I mean, I think that, again, especially in the African American community, more these men, and they can't. And then I think men in rare occasions where they might have a young daughter or something, and they're trying to teach her how to be a young lady, they can't. I think you need both components for it to be healthy. And if you don't have the parents, as long as you have a figure, somebody that you can, who is positive and who does, at least if they're not talking to you about it, you can look at them as a model, an example. So I think that that's critical, because if you don't have a man, like I was telling my wife one time, when we were going through a rough season, I said, babe, like, and she told me the same thing, and we were both like in awe of this phenomena. But the reality is that nobody ever showed me how to do this.
Right.
I'm learning as I go.
Yep.
Like I never saw my mom and dad together, holding hands, shopping together, paying the mortgage together, paying the rent together, picking out a car. Like I never saw that.
Right.
So like this is stuff I'm all doing for my family for the first time by myself.
Right.
I didn't have anybody to say, oh, this is how you do it, Dee, or this is how you do it, Victoria. Like, and even sometimes when you have a parent, they're still not teaching you how to really be a husband, or how to be a wife. Like, and like you said, China, the childhood stuff is so deep because it rears its head in situations you never expect. You'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like that has nothing to do, but it's a trigger because the stuff they went through as a kid that you're not even aware of. And now, how do I explain that to somebody that I've been intimate with, share a bed with, pay bills with, do all of this stuff with, and now 3 years into the relationship, I'm finding out, like, what do you mean you were strangled as a kid, and you know, or you know, whatever. Like, it's hard for people to process. So it's easier to run, and then you run, and then you bring that baggage to somebody else, and you haven't really dealt with it. And I think in the African American culture in particular, we really struggle with talking with each other. Number one, we struggle talking with professionals to get the help that we need to unpack a lot of that baggage, man, so that we can be healthy to be what we need to be for as men. I'm speaking specifically to be what we need to be for our women, dude. It's like, it's not a shortage of masculine, healthy men out there. It's just they're rare because it's rare to find people who are willing to do the work to be the best version of themselves. Right. Most people would rather like screw it away, drink it away, party it away, church it away. You have to deal with it. You got to address it. And if you don't address it, you know what I mean, it just keeps rearing its head.
Right.
So
it's like we suppress it, but it's always going to be there. And I think sometimes it really is plaguing the African American community for us not to get the help we need. It's like we wait until like something blows up, or you lose something, or you lose a loved one. Now it's like, I want to go and see a therapist. It's like sometimes you may need to just sit back and say, hey, I may need to talk to somebody about this, because I want to know why I'm attracting the same type of person, or why I'm in a relationship, I'm sabotaging my relationship because I can't get over the trauma, over, you know, the baggage or the hurt or the pain. You know, it's like you need to talk to someone. You know us, China, we've been in church pretty much all of our adult life, you know, and it's like Yes, church is great, but you still need someone to talk to. And sometimes in the mental health field, we always say, get Jesus and get a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Because you may need somebody to talk to who can really help you level out, balance out what's really going on. And sometimes there is a deep rooted issue, or there may be trauma, there may be PTSD that you're dealing with that you don't even know, that's there, and they can be pinpoint what it is and how you can fix that. But I think sometimes we don't deal with it, so we run back to those cycles. Right. We run back to that ex. We run back to that friend, that toxic friend. We run back to sex and drugs and alcohol and and partying and staying out all night and not working and not being responsible. We run back instead of dealing what we need to deal with as humans and as adults. We somehow run back, and as a child, all we know is to just go through it, but as an adult, you have the option to say, you know what, no, I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to breeze over it. I'm not going to tuck it under the rug. I'm going to actually go out and get help. So,
right. And we also, as, like you said, you two are parents, beautiful kids. And we definitely have to, as the Black community, we have to do a better job on teaching our children, the correct way of doing things. And you got to understand, relationships will be like getting married is going to be like literally one of the biggest decisions you make in life. It's not buying a car. Right. It's not buying a house. You're going to buy plenty of cars in your lifetime. Right. You might move into plenty of houses, but who you marry can make or break you. Yeah, so as children, we definitely need to do a better job on teaching them. Mm-hmm. Like you said, Mr. Taylor, a lot of men didn't grow up watching their fathers, treat their mother correctly. Right. So how can I expect the man, once he gets older, to know what to do with a woman when he didn't see that with his mother? He didn't see that in his own household, right. And same thing with the young women. So we definitely have to do a better job of our next generation coming up, behind us, on teaching them the correct way on how to love people, how to love yourself. Because a lot of people right now do not love themselves. So if you can't love you, how are you going to love me? How are you going to handle all of this if you can't even love yourself?
I going to handle all of this, right? I hear you. I hear you. And it's sad because people feel like they do love themselves, but it's like how you love yourself. And I there was a quote that I saw today. It says, a mother that loves her children or loves herself will never teach her children how to hate their father. And I was just like, dang, that's deep. Because a lot of women, like, they get into these relationships, right? And they think like it's going to be ideal, right? We're going to have this family, we're going to have this home, and it don't work out. So now you're raising a child in a single parent home. Now you hate this man, you hate everything about him, but you realize that child is a product of him. He's half of him, right? Half of you, half of him. And if you're teaching them and training them to hate this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not teaching them, you're not really loving that person. You're not really loving yourself because you literally gave yourself to that person. So it's like, it's so sad that we feel like we really truly love ourselves and we're out here doing self-help. We might have been talking about this last night. We're doing self-help and discovery and I look good, I feel good. But do you really love yourself though? Do you really love yourself? Because if you did, you wouldn't be continue to put yourself through that trauma and that cycle of bad decisions and bad relationships and careless living, right? If you truly love yourself, so.
I mean, what you spoke was facts, Trina, for real. I mean, honestly, like, there's so much of that. I mean, in our young people and even in like adults, man, it's so much of like self-hatred. I mean, honestly, it's really what it is. They don't know how to treat people because they don't know how to treat themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. They're not comfortable in their own skin. They don't know who they are, what they want, what they like or don't like. Everything that they're kind of dealing with is what they're being told it's in, or what they're being told is hot. And I'm like, part of me is like somewhat conflicted when it comes to like this topic, because I feel like people do what people tell them to do as opposed to what they feel they really need to do for themselves. Right. But once you know who you are and what you're about, then you can really effectively be free to love somebody else and them and love them to the point where, because we can get married at, say we get married at 25. By the time we're 35, we both will be different people. Right. We will have grown. Yes. Desires will have changed. Things may have changed. You might, like you said, bought a home, some cars. You might move. A whole bunch of things can happen, and things change. People always, I want a 6-figure nigga. I want a 6-figure nigga. Well, when you get a 6-figure nigga, they work a lot.
Right.
They're tired. They don't have the energy to necessarily put into you the way that they did before. You have to be able to like love and grow.
Right.
With, you know what I mean? Love and grow in that relationship and be okay. But you can't do that if you hate yourself.
Right.
You're insecure. You don't really know what's going on, and it causes you to act out. You know. And there's a line I stole from a Christian rapper named Dizzle. He says, "But I can't hear what you're saying for seeing what you do." Right. So it's like you have to really not just talk it, but try to do it. Right. And you really got to do the work. You know, I mean, you really have to do the work because a person can't teach you to love yourself. You have to take the initiative to do that for yourself. You know, and I
even as
love you, but you got to do it for yourself.
Even as women, we have to learn to be accountable ourselves. You know, I'll just go ahead and say it. We have to learn to be accountable ourselves. Like you said, you know, we want particular things in men, and that is fine. So what happens when we get that? You know, it's like once you get it, do you know what to do with it? Do you know what to do with a 6-figure man? Once he's bringing in that money, do you know how to handle that situation? Do you know what to do? Because if he's making that kind of money and he's bringing a certain amount, he's looking for particular things in you as his wife or as his partner. You know, when he comes home from work, you know. So, and then are you ready to be a mother figure? Let's be honest. Some men have children with women and they weren't ready to be mothers, and it shows. It shows. You know, you can't be out. You can't be out every day of the week. You know, and you got a parent. That's not going to work. You know. So it's like we got to be accountable as the women, and we got to make sure we're also healed, happy, and ready for what we want. You know, you can't say, I want this in a man, and I want that, and then you come broken, you're not ready, you don't have your stuff in order. You know, we got to be accountable also.
That's right. And then just, to me, I feel like it's just a whole growth mindset in challenging yourself. You know what I'm saying? When we got together, we were young, you know what I'm saying? Very young. And I tell people this all the time, like the person I was at 18, I'm not the person at 36. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to understand when you're getting into a relationship with someone, you cannot expect that person to be the same for the rest of their lives. Like, they're going to change, and it's for the better. I think a lot of times I saw a post that said a lot of men do not get married because they fear the woman that they got is going to change and not be the woman that they, you know what I'm saying, like they dated. And I laughed at that because I'm like, damn, we still date, we still do all of this stuff. It's like, you can continue to be that and have that, set that foundation, but you're still going to change and be a better person as you grow. You know, you're not going to stay the same. You know, your hips may spread. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like something's gonna happen, right? Things is gonna happen, right? You're gonna wake up and have a little stretch mark. You know what I'm saying? But you learn and you grow. You're like, okay, I understand that this is what attracted you. I'm gonna make sure I try to maintain that. But mentally, you're growing and you're continuing to expand, and you're not gonna be the same person. So we gotta understand, like, we gotta give people space to grow, you know, and understand, like, yes, they love me. Yes, you know, he want to be all in and be here for me. But I understand this man making money. He got to work. You know what I'm saying? He got to eat. Yes. And when he come home, he want to sleep.
He hungry.
Know? Right.
When he come home, he is hungry.
Right.
It's okay to have a little.
Right. Have a little dinner prepared. Right. And a little appetizer and a little dessert. Right. Don't play. But it's like people.
It might be 1 or 2 nights you put the kids in bed early. You know.
There you go.
It's okay.
Right. But the funny thing is like the stuff y'all talking about, the stuff we talking about, like a lot of women say they want to be in relationships, won't do it. It's not that they're not being told, they just refuse to do it.
Right.
So if you want a certain caliber man, they're gonna look for those type of things.
Right.
And if you don't provide it, they'll just simply go with a woman who
provides it. Will.
And then what females will do, oh, well, that's ugly. It's like,
my man.
But she's doing the things you refuse to do.
Right.
And that may sound like harsh, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but that's what happens. It's like you have to understand what comes along with where you're trying to go. So it's like if you're looking for certain things, like I understand too, if I'm looking for a quality woman that's going to do the things that you guys are talking about, hey, have dinner ready, whatever, I can't be in the club, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
With Back It Up Becky, you know what I mean? Like that's not
right.
That's not,
That's gonna be a new
Come
song.
in there with the kids. Like, what you doing?
And where my kids at?
Right.
Where's my kid?
So, right. So if I'm trying to have a wife, somebody to hold me down, like, babe, let's build this empire together. I'm not gonna find that in certain places, and I'm not necessarily saying churches. Put yourself out there, be in places, but you have to put yourself in places where people who are responsible are, and look in places where you know that people like that are.
Right, exactly.
But put yourself in a position where you're around pigeons, then that's what you'll get. You know what I mean?
Right. Or are you around scrubs? That's what you're gonna
and
get.
as a woman, if you feel like right now you're in a relationship with a man where you don't want to cook for him, you don't want to bring him peace, you don't want to do all that, you're just in the wrong relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not in a relationship. You got to get out of that relationship.
Right. You shouldn't even be in a relationship. I think somebody said, like, if you need a man that can handle you, you're not coming with peace.
That's good.
I don't understand how these women be operating and moving. I need a man that can handle me. Handle you how? What?
That means you're out of control.
Are you Tasmanian? What the hell? What do you mean handle you? How am I handling you? Like, you should already come with your own amount of peace and just tranquility and understand, like, I need to calm down. I can't be like all over the place. And I'm not going to have to be arguing with you all day and night in the grocery store, at the pick and save, at the laundromat. Like, why are you arguing all day and night because, like, you want somebody to handle you? And the sad thing about it is, when they think about men like that, they think about the aggressive men and toxic men. Like, nobody should have to grab your neck, you know what I'm saying, and threaten you and threaten to blow up your whole mama's house for you to calm down. Like, that's just not
right. You be like, what my mama got to do with it? Like,
that is just not the type of relationship. So y'all both toxic, and you want somebody to handle you, and he's just looking at, like, I just want peace in this relationship. You know, I don't want to, treat you.
He wants a communicator.
Right.
Peace,
exactly.
That's the number one thing. Like,
he's looking for respect.
Yeah. Yes.
If he's that man and you want him to be that man, he's looking for respect. It's okay to communicate to him. If he did something wrong, just communicate with him. You ain't got to yell at him. You ain't got to treat him like a child.
Right.
You ain't got to cuss him out in front of nobody. And you don't have to run to all of your friends and all of your family members to tell what he did, how he did it, when he did it. It ain't none of their business. Handle it with your partner.
Talk.
That's facts. Girl. I mean, you do that, you stay married a while. You stay married a long
take
time.
it to Jesus.
Right.
You know,
right?
Yeah. Get it to God. Get on your knees.
Yeah, telling people telling for somebody who has been there, done that. Talking to people about your relationship is the worst mistake you can make in a relationship beyond committing an affair or something of that nature.
Right.
But I'm saying it's one of the number one things you can do to allow people access to things they should never have access to.
Right.
And oftentimes the people are telling you, yeah, bro, I will leave her, bro. I will leave her. Those be the same niggas that be trying to get your girl as soon as you step out the front door. They trying to come in the back.
Right.
Females do the same thing. Girl, I would leave him. Leave that nigga. He no good. He this and that. Girl, he is.
Trying to be
and then as soon as he do, and then as soon as you leave him, they, oh, hey, you want something to eat? I'm here for you. Just, whatever you need and blah, blah, blah. Like, so I always tell people, be careful what you share, whether it's positive or negative. You know what I mean? Like, because even like if it's positive, like, oh, yo, my girl's fire. She do this.
Right. That's too much information.
We do this and that. We
he putting it down in the bedroom.
That's nobody.
Now it's all awkward when you see them out in public.
Right. Like, what y'all been doing?
You know what I'm saying? And then dudes do the same type of stuff that females do. Dudes, then the next thing you know, the next morning you wake, you and told your boys this stuff. The next morning you wake up, all these niggas is trying to follow your girl, bro. And it's the type of stuff where it's like, and you told them the map to everything that she
you gave him the map.
It's like, dude, like you should have kept your freaking mouth shut. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, I think that you're 1,000% correct. And now when you have to keep your mouth closed, you definitely have to like people say, oh, you want to be married, then you got to be a wife. And if you want to be married from a man, you got to be a husband, dude. Like, you got to put yourself in a position where, hey, where can I find women of quality? A woman that I'm looking for, the character I want. And don't get me wrong, because people will have you like saying that nonsense too. Like, ain't no beautiful women out there that got character. That's complete nonsense.
Right.
It's plenty of beautiful women out there that's on top of their game. Mm-hmm. The problem is that when you put it up against what everybody else calls beautiful, again, it goes back to knowing and loving yourself. Hey, like, I don't care if everybody in the world think my wife's a dime piece. All that matters is that I do.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Is that I do.
Right.
And I think, I think that's what's the most important. And I think people seek validation from too many outside sources and people. And this is why
especially people who don't know what they're doing. So you got to be careful who you take that advice from. You're like, wait a minute,
you talking?
If you in your own, if you're not in your own healthy situation, how am I, getting that advice? And I understand what you were saying earlier. I think, with the trauma and everything that goes on, now we're getting to the point where you're supposed to, people are forgetting you're supposed to have fun in your relationship. You're supposed to go out, enjoy each other. You're supposed to laugh at each other, jokes. Even if it's not funny, you still give a little laugh. And, you're supposed to enjoy. You're supposed to, pull up to the grocery store. I don't know. Or if you have a date night, you're like, hey, we role play tonight. You're like, okay.
Like, hey, I'm just meeting you.
Have a little sexy in it.
China, that is so true, man. Like, people, I'm telling you.
You ever role play in the grocery store?
Right.
It's like,
people
if you
don't
come
do
on
it.
all night because you cute.
Thank you.
People don't do it, man.
They're not going to do
You
it.
can tell them, like, China, you're so on point. I'm telling you. You can tell people this stuff and they just think, oh, you just saying that. Like, no, I'm telling you what works from somebody who's been married a long time.
Right.
It works, dude. But you have to work it.
Right.
And like, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know who's watching, but that shit is sexy. You know what I mean? It's like,
it is.
I mean, and then you don't have to look for 15 different females to fulfill your desires. Like, I got the one and she do all of that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, you have to be willing to do it and get outside of yourself to do it. You know what I mean? And when I say get outside of yourself, get out of your own head and listening to what people say and have fun with your spouse. Like, everything, and with a lot of these relationships, friends we have that are married, their whole relationship is so serious. It's like everything's serious. Like, oh, bro, like, I gotta like do it this way or else. It's like, well, why is it or else? It's like, dude, like, why y'all just can't have fun with it?
Yeah,
whether it be cooking, whether it be cleaning, and sex, anything. Like, why is everything so damn serious? Like, it's like, dude,
it is.
Like, have fun, dude. Like, laugh, joke, like, play, like, hey, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, make it fun. Like, make it hot, make it sexy. I think that if people committed to do that, then relationships will last a lot longer, and you skip over a lot of hurt but it requires, again, that you know what you're about and what you're on and what you're willing to do for your with your person. You know what I mean?
And you gotta have that trust and that loyalty, because I know that those play a big role in being able to enjoy your relationship also. I do come across women and men who have a hard time having that happiness and enjoying that fun when there's no trust.
Right.
So if you think your man is always out doing something behind your back, or if you think your woman, as they call them now, the sneaky links, I guess, if you think all of that is going on, it is hard to, get out in public and enjoy yourselves, because you're wondering, is the chick on aisle 5, does she know your man? Why she looking at y'all crazy, So you got to have, those key elements in your relationship so you can enjoy and have fun. So you can't be in a room full of people, but as husband and wife, y'all texting each other some craziness, and you're like, listen, let's dip up out of here. Let's play with these people. We going home.
Right. The party's at home.
Right.
Exactly. No, but now that's what you're saying is so true. Like, I think a lot of people have lost the art of just like being happy and just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest thing. I always say, have fun. No matter what you're doing in life, just have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing should be so, so hard and so taxing. Like, golly, like, just have fun, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And like, no ideal relationship is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their issues and baggage and stuff that they're going through, and they're unloading, right? And that they're going through and trying to process. But in the whole process of that, have fun. Like I was saying, when me and him were just friends, like, I literally would have him on 3-way with these dudes. Like, can you believe this nigga is telling me he want to do da-da-da-da-da-da? We were laughing to this day. We still laugh at some of those conversations because, like, it was real. You know what I'm saying? It was really real. And it's funny because you talk about the role playing and stuff like that. Like, we do that a lot. It's like, like, we'll just role play. But I think sometimes, like, a lot of people have just lost interest in, like, who they're with. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even care or try to put in the effort, It's
like you said, they don't have the trust. So, like, and don't get me wrong, like, and I mean, and I'm gonna say something that might rub people the wrong way, But like, if you've had a situation where you've experienced some mistrust or some unfaithfulness or infidelity or whatever, like if that person is really genuine, you can bounce back from that.
Right, you can.
It's like it's not a end all thing unless you want it to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you want it to be, fine, but then don't play with it, because then you'll constantly have like that chip on your shoulder, and you'll never be able to, like you said, have fun. You'll never be able to have fun because it'll be like, well, oh, like who's she out with?
Right.
Who's she out with? Are you
I
really with
remember
your
last
girls?
time. I remember this
well, but the last time you said you was going, said you was going to the store. You went over to that nigga house and blah blah. Like, you know, is that
Right.
you know? So it's like, you know, you got. But it's like if that person is like legitimately like, hey, I apologize. I acknowledge I made that mistake. It was a mistake. This is the reason why I did it. I understand.
Right.
You can move on from it. But and don't get me wrong, it takes time to earn that trust and confidence back. But if you allow them to, and they're sincere, you'll see it. You'll know whether they are or not. Like, and women, you guys are masters at like intuition, so you guys can pick up quick. Niggas, it takes us a long time. Dudes, you like, how long you been talking to them? Like, what? Females will pick it up like, hey, like, why you acting different? Like, what are you talking about?
You spraying a little bit too much cologne today. What you doing today?
And I'll be like, hey, like,
you like, wait a minute. So you put on the good draws today.
Right. What you doing after work?
Like,
you put on the good draws.
And women be like, who you over there talking to?
But
like,
I completely agree with you. The loyalty, the trust definitely has to be there, because you don't want to feel like you're trapped in a relationship. Like, I don't want to feel like I have to answer my phone 50 times a day just so that you can feel comfortable to know that I'm like, if you called me 5 minutes ago and I said I'm at work, when you call me about 15 minutes later, guess where I'm at? I'm still at work, honey. I'm still out here getting these coins, you know? So you need the trust. I don't want to feel like if I say, hey, Victoria, let's go ahead and go out, you know, wine tasting or something, you know? Let's go hang out. I want a man to be able to trust that I'm out with my girls. We are enjoying ourselves.
Actually, I was doing what I said I was going to be doing. Right.
Yeah, and we're going to be okay.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. It's funny, but it's along the lines of what you're talking about. I remember, like, there was a space, you know, where I would check in, you know, quite a bit. Hey, baby, okay, you know, what's going on, blah blah. And then I got to a point where, you know, and I was having a moment, and Victoria said, "Well, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's between you and God." And at the end of the day,
oh my God,
like, that is so true, though. Like, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you either have two options, because I think people make it like an all or nothing at all. And if that's who you are, that's who you are.
Right.
But to me, it's like, if you're doing it, just freaking stop doing it.
Right. Cut it off. Knock it off.
You can, hey, I've learned, like, it's, I mean, just because Victoria's married doesn't mean she stopped being attracted to other people. Like, I understand that.
Right.
So, like, at the end of the day, I have to understand this too. Like, it doesn't matter who you go, like whether you with your girls or not or whatever, and y'all can all be the most loyal women to your dudes. But it doesn't mean you stop being attracted to the general public or that dudes will no longer look or say little things. But I have to trust that, like, hey, you'll knock that down. You have to trust that I'll knock it down. And if for some reason you start down a path and you start like, hey, you know, I'm a snake down this path, you have to understand, or you hope that they have enough love for themselves, enough love for what you guys have together, and the reverence of God to be like, you know what am I doing? Yo, like, I can't do this. I gotta stop. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't care for the person that you was whatever talking to or dealing with, but it means that, like, what I have here is more significant, and it's more, it matters more in the long run. And at the end of the day, you know, and you just have to let it be what it is. But it doesn't mean that you don't care for people because you be like, hey, I can't do this. And if they love you at all or respect you or care for you at all, they'll understand that and respect that, especially if you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? You should understand and respect it. You know what I mean? And then if you're that person that made the mistake, that messed up, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stop, move on, and re-earn the trust. You know what I mean? And it can be done.
And it's a beautiful thing to partner up with someone you can actually be transparent with and honest. Like, have you ever just had someone where you can make a mistake and you can actually calmly go to that person and say, listen, let's sit down and let's talk about some things. And it's not you know, a huge backlash, and it's just two people communicating and saying, I can actually be so honest with this person that when I do fall short, or if I make a mistake, I can correct it, fix it, and we can move on from there. A lot of people can't. It's like, when you meet people, it's so many skeletons in that closet. It's not even funny. It's like, how is the closet holding up anymore? Because that's how many lies and secrets and everything. And you're just like, wow. And I just don't understand the concept of, okay, I'm going to get in a relationship with a person just to go be with other people. Well, I mean, you could have stayed single. Nobody put a gun to your head. Nobody forced you. You can stay single and have fun and do whatever you want to. So it's like, it's like, if you want to have multiple people, stay single. If you are ready to settle down and be committed and have one person, then you go ahead and, you know, get ready for that path.
Right. And I think you prepare. So, okay, if you say, I want to be married, nobody is forcing you to be married.
Right.
People will say, oh, well, I got married young. Okay, you got married young, but you made that choice. Do you want to be divorced today?
Right.
Sir or ma'am? No, I don't want to be divorced. Then okay, then just shut up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that depends on your spouse. Because you don't have to, you don't have to do that. If you can't reconcile, then let it go, and you guys do what you have to do. But if it's something that you can, reconcile and that you can make it good and have and enjoy a great relationship, do that. But I feel like, in order for you to really have a great relationship, you really do got to be open and honest with each other. And at the end of the day, I mean, I can only speak for me and what I have with my wife. And I'm not saying here trying to act like I'm the perfect man or like I've done everything right my whole entire life in relationship. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying though is that you can make a choice that, you know what, like this is who I chose.
Right.
And this is who I choose every day. And I'm going to work at being the best that I can be, not just for her, but for God, most importantly, and then for myself, and then for her, and then for our babies or whatever. And then at the end of the day, I feel like, you make a choice and you stick with your choice. You know what I mean? Like you make a choice. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like people act like stuff is out of their control. Like it's your choice. You know what I mean? I feel like you can choose to be what you want to be, and you can choose to have the relationship you want to have. It's your choice. And if you say, hey, I want a person that I can be absolutely transparent with, then when you are dating somebody and courting them, don't think about how good he looks or she looks or how sexy they look in that dress, or wondering what's up they dress, or wondering what's down their top. You really look at, hey, can I be 1,000% transparent with this person and tell her, like, yo, hey, there was one time I was juggling 4 or 5 females. How did that make you feel? Well, that was your past. And now hey, okay, cool. Like, this is a woman I can. If she be like, well, I can't be with no man whoever, then you know right there, like, okay, well then maybe you not it, because now I know that if God forbid I make a mistake or I mess up, like I can't go to you at all. Or there's never a point in time. And I mean, and I'm being honest with you. I'm not just talking just to sit on here and talk. Like, I mean, me and Victoria have had deep revealing conversations about all kinds of things.
Right.
I think your relationship, people be like, oh, well, I can't handle that. Yes, you can handle it. And I mean, if you're somebody you want to spend your life with, then why can't that person know the most intimate details?
I think those are the best times, though. Like,
I mean, I think that connects you in a way that, dude, like, you connect on that level. People be like, oh, well, I would have left, or she ain't got nothing on this and that person. But it's like, okay, but I could tell her everything about me,
right?
Without
that's like your best friend,
without my literal best friend. I can tell her everything about me, everything I'm feeling. She don't look at me crazy. She don't be like, oh, you're a minister, you can't say that, or you can't think that, or oh my God, you can't. Oh Jesus, all of that nonsense. Like, it's like she gets me from my core. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, and like as a man, you need that, like, because like these are things you only might tell your homeboys about. You know what I mean? And some things you don't even tell your homeboys about, because you never know if niggas gonna circle back to try to use it against you. But when it's a woman you love and you pillow talking, or you just having a conversation, you should be able to say certain. Victoria dropped some knowledge on me a few weeks ago. We were sitting down for dinner. She just explained something to me. I never knew she ever thought like that or felt like that. You know what I mean? And it's like we almost 18 years in, yo, and I was like, dude, I was astounded, like, dang, babe, like I didn't even know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, and she was like, oh, I didn't know that's how you feel or looked at it. And I'm like, you got to realize we only look at things from our perspective.
Right.
And every time we tell a story, right? If I'm talking to China, I'm gonna be like, hey, China, my life was this shit with Victoria ended, girl, but it ended because Victoria she was doing this and that. We never tell what we've done in it, right? It's always, well, she was crazy. She was this. Yeah, but what did you do, bro? Like, what did you do?
Right.
Well, I mean, I just screwed around on her 13 times in our relationship, but we ain't talking about that. She crazy.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude,
that is so crazy when people say that.
You know,
exactly.
I always ask when I meet someone, I always say, hey, let's have I call them honesty moments, you know, because you can have those when you first meet someone. And I'm just like, okay, let's be honest. What is something your exes would say would be a flaw of yours? And so I try to go from there, and, you know, and have that conversation to say, okay, or, you know, because if you ask a person, what do they think they need to work on? They're going to look at you and say nothing. So now it's like, well, wait, what are some of the things, you know, people in your past relationships have, you know, said about you? Could you be a little selfish? You know, are you not a great communicator? You know, what is the idea? And it just kind of helps, you know, you see the areas that maybe need to work on that they weren't willing to be honest themselves to say, okay, I'm not a great communicator, you know, I might not be the most romantic guy, you know, so I do understand where you're coming from, and you want that partner, you know, man or woman, you want to be able to be honest, you want to be transparent, and you want to have that person to go and talk to. You don't want to feel like you have to go outside of your relationship and your marriage to communicate and to have what you need. Right. So it's okay to have those real talks. It's okay to have those moments of honesty, like, whoa, that's how you feel? Right. Oh, okay, hold on, let me check with Jesus on this one. Like, give me about 30 minutes and I'll come back to this. You know, you want to be able to have those moments of like us as women, you want to be able to say, you know what, honey, you know, I didn't have some good food and some pounds that came on after this pandemic. You know, what you thinking? You know, I need to go sign up for that gym around the corner, or, you know, am I looking good? Okay. You know, you want to be able to be honest. You know, like, well, honey, I already signed you up for the gym. You like, okay. Like, what you mean?
You up. I want to know you want me to join you.
No, girl, don't even trip. I already signed you up.
Exactly.
You got class. You got a rope class at 10.
Right. Yeah, like I was waiting on you.
Right, exactly. Oh my God, this has been fun. We have been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. We have been talking our heads off. Let me check and see if I have anybody commenting on some stuff. Yeah, we have a few people that's commenting, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this live because we've been on here for a minute. But I do thank you, China, for just joining us and coming on here and talking with us. We definitely gonna have to do this more often. Like I said, this is a platform that I created not solely for myself, but I want to be able to dialogue, because I think a lot of my content on Facebook get taken out of context because people feel like, well, what qualifies you to say that? You know, that's why I'm always inviting other voices to be able to speak and say what they need to say, whether it be a male voice or a female voice, you know, not just hearing from me solely because
they'll ask you what qualifies you. How long y'all been married again?
Girl,
I know you, and I've seen them beautiful babies, them kids.
But I don't understand. So, you know, I still don't. Look,
just a little.
It's because these people,
just a little something.
They want to argue with you, and they do not care where you're coming from and how long you've been in this thing. They do not care. They have their one-track mind of thinking, and they will argue you. I literally have people in my DMs trying to argue with me, and that is the saddest thing. So I'm like, here's the opportunity. Come on the platform. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Right? Come on the platform. Right? Share.
And there's nothing wrong with getting the different opinions. Exactly. Sometimes we hear things that we didn't even think about ourselves as women that we get. All I know is, in order to know what a man wants, then it probably should be a man, you know, telling us. In order for women, you know, in order for the men to know what women want, it should be us, you know, giving in that feedback. So,
and they get upset because they don't understand that. Yes, I do have conversations with guys. Like, I have brothers and friends and clients and things like that. And when I do share these opinions and these thoughts, you know, a lot of it comes from my husband, you know, pillow talk and stuff. They get offended and they get mad. And so I'm just like, this is an opportunity. You come on the show, you come on here, you can talk and say whatever it is you need to say and get it out. That way we can all communicate effectively without feeling like you're being attacked or you're trying to attack me, because I don't do attacks, you know. So I thank you for your time, China. You've been awesome. Been a perfect guest for this segment. Talking about, you know, how do you know that person is the one? Whether it's him knowing that she's the one or she knows that he's the one. So I thank you for your time, and I will see you next time on the live.
You guys. You guys have a beautiful night, okay?
You too. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So we're ending the Zoom call, but I'm still on Hold on. I don't know why I keep calling this thing Facebook. But we're still on just the YouTube. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things. We went over question and answer. Please follow me on Instagram. My IG is Lady V Taught Me, and then my Facebook, Lady V Taught Me, for my Facebook page. Also do coaching. So if you're interested in getting coaching done, I do love coaching as well. And then this is the book that me and my husband wrote together, No More Bed Gaps, Have a Happy Marriage by Morning. We published that book in 2015. And then this Crown of Beauty was published 2019. And then, like I said, we are excited. I thank my special guest, my husband of 18 years, for joining me on tonight. I think it was very important that I had a male voice talk about what are you looking for in a woman and what drew you to her or what made you choose her, you know. And so I do thank you for your time. I know you're a hardworking man out there doing his thing. So I do thank you for carving out a little bit of your time to show your beautiful face on the YouTube. Alrighty, you guys have a great night, and I will see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Peace out.